Right now, we're going to talk to Tim Drucker, Chief Underwriting Officer of Ocean Marine at Travelers, and we're going to learn something new today. Tim, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Where are you coming into us from? Where are you hanging out today?
I'm coming in from Westport, Connecticut, and happy to be here today and to talk to you about marine cargo insurance.
You got to bring the whalers back over there, man. They got to bring the whale back. Take them back from Carolina.
That's right. That's right.
Well, great to have you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we jump into things. Why should people listen to the great Tim Drucker?
Sure. So, Travelers is a leading provider of ocean cargo products in the U.S. I serve and lucky enough to serve as the Chief Underwriting Officer. So I work with our U.S. and Canadian underwriting team to distribute those products through our agents and brokers to importers and exporters, marine service providers. So we also insure, commercial vessel operators, and we do a little bit of luxury yacht business. So it's a diverse and interesting business. And happy to talk to you a little bit today about what we do on the ocean cargo front.
Yeah, a diverse and interesting business with a lot of nuances to it today. One of those nuances is the difference between ocean cargo versus inland. Break it down for us.
Yeah, sure. So I know you've got a little background in the ocean cargo space from your family ties. Mm-hmm. So it was great to see some of you and your dad cover some of that. So I'm going to hit maybe a little bit from a different perspective. Your listeners know day in, day out how complex our transportation system is and the supply chain. And there's really no one size fits all product. And that's where ocean cargo or marine cargo begins to differentiate from the inland marine product. One difference is when you get to an ocean cargo product, it's really intended for customers that have goods traveling in a global transportation network or a global supply chain. So these are customers using multiple different conveyances, not just truck and rail, but certainly, getting into the vessel and air conveyances as well. And this is a one-stop shop product to cover that product through the supply chain. So we're talking about wholesalers and manufacturers who use vessels oftentimes, and vessels provide 80% of our global trade volume. And so this is a first party coverage, as we call it. It's intended to protect the customer's goods, their product or raw materials throughout that supply chain. And if something happens, whether it's water damage on a vessel or container theft or spoilage, we're here to serve, the customer from a claims perspective, product perspective, and also offer some engineering and loss mitigation services.
Interesting. Well, so that's a key difference. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, the inland marine product, as you can imagine, truck and rail, mostly domestic. But the other thing is our customers with the ocean cargo product really are the cargo owners. So it's their product, it's their raw material. And what the inland marine product does is you're really covering the transportation provider, the carrier, the logistics professional, that logistics partner that helps get your goods through the supply chain. And what that creates is, as a logistics partner, you have a duty to care for those goods. And so that's a legal liability that they assume through contracts. And the inland marine product is generally providing a contractual product to those customers, whereas our product will cover the shipper for physical damage to their goods before we even start looking at what the contracts say. We want to just make sure the customer is whole, so then they can work it out with their freight forwarder if there's going to be any legal liability to work out.
What are the differences between ocean and inland marine?
Yeah, I mean, the big one is the domestic versus global. So what I work with on a global basis is, things going on in the Middle East right now or with China, and so you're really looking at a more of a macro scale. But the supply chains are very different. And as a result, the claim situations can be different as well. So theft is really important to be concerned about in the US. It is globally as well, but so is water damage, mishandling, spoilage, things that happen because when you're dealing on a global scale, a delay can take anywhere between days and weeks, like the Suez Canal, something going on there perhaps again. And that's really, it makes the product and the risk a lot different.
So what do carriers do when these sort of liabilities come up that we're talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is if you're a shipper and you own the product, you're basically going to put your carrier on notice, carriers like us, so that we can start working through the freight forwarder or through the carriers to identify how to mitigate or to make a recovery on the goods if it's stolen. So, for instance, if we have a theft claim, Travelers has a theft group called our SIG group, and they do theft investigations. You've probably heard about it from Scott Cornell. So, who's been on your show before. So, we'll work to see if we can make a recovery, but we're going to look at the legal liability aspects of it as well, on behalf of the shipper or the customer that we have.
Wow. Yeah, sting trailers, man. One day we gotta like follow one of these sting trailers around and see what happens. Those are probably one of the most exciting things that I talk to you guys about. But if people are curious to learn more about inland and marine cargo and they want to talk to you, where do I send them to?
Yeah, so the first place to go is, we all work through agents and brokers generally to purchase our insurance coverages, and that's a great place to start. And Travelers is a known entity with all of our agents and brokers across the country. And so you can also see us on our website at travelers.com/ocean marine, where we have a great summary of our product offerings, um, to give you a sense of, a little bit more of what we talked about today.
Very cool. Well, Tim, thank you very much for your time today. I appreciate it. Thanks for giving us a little clarity here.
Thanks for having me on.
Take it easy. All right, everybody.